What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your daily news report for Wednesday, November 16th. So we have some big news we need to address. We need to address two main stories. These are things that they're game changers. So I want to address what's going on. First, we're going to talk about how Democrats are firing back at Republicans. But why? Why are they doing this right now? Well, it's because of an announcement that was made last night. It is now official that former President Donald Trump has announced his candidacy for president in 2024. And former President Donald Trump said last night, America's comeback starts right now. 2 years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. That is what he said. Now, how big of a deal is this? It's huge. This is huge because it's something that I think everybody expected. But this is what Democrats have been fighting against. They do not want to run against President Trump. They don't want to run against him. Now, even though he has announced his candidacy, this doesn't mean he's not going to have any issues, because we know Democrats are already pushing back. We know Republicans, or some, do not want to see him in office again. They think there's better options, because we know Democrats didn't wait very long before bashing this decision last night. We heard from Representative Diana DeGette, a Democrat from Colorado, and she said, "You can sum up Trump's announcement tonight in one word: desperation." We also heard from Democratic Representative Adam Schiff, and he said, "New Trump campaign, same old lies." And Democrats are not the only ones that are going up against former President Donald Trump and against him running. We know there's a chance that we could see Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida run for president. And the reason why we can see this is because a lot of people believe he is going to have the new vision, that he's young, that he could bring in some new light and new life into the office. But, and here's the thing, he might not be the only one. After a report yesterday, former Vice President Mike Pence said that there are discussions within his household about running for president. So that could be a possibility as well. So it might not just be a clear shot for former President Donald Trump. He may have some competition. Now, based on how the candidates endorsed by Trump have done during the midterm election, many Republicans question whether former President Donald Trump has the pull that he once did. He might not, and this could be a big issue. Now, the reason I bring this up and the reason why this is major news is because, again, we got 2 years before the next election. For our current President Joe Biden, he hasn't even announced his desire to run, but he says he wants to. But is he going to announce his candidacy? I don't know. According to reports, this could happen in the beginning of 2023, so we could know very soon. But, again, and this is the big thing, who's he going to go up against? Because what we have seen based on polls over the past 6 months is if current President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump run against each other, some are saying that President Biden would have just a slight edge. But if we see a different Republican go against President Joe Biden, Republicans would have the slight edge. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what Republicans in the House and the Senate decide. But again, it's going to be an interesting 2 years, and especially when we have most likely a Republican House and a Democratic Senate, we might have gridlock for the next 2 years. So we're going to see what happens there. But let's talk about the next big piece of information, and this is the Ukraine missile launch. And you probably wonder, why are you talking about a Ukraine missile launch? Wasn't the big story yesterday that Russia hit Poland? Yeah, let's address this. Because what was announced yesterday, or what was reported by the Associated Press, is that a Russian missile hit Poland, hit a grain elevator. Okay. Well, as soon as that was reported, it was also reported that Poland was contemplating invoking Article 4. This has mostly been done by Turkey and some other countries, but this would have gotten NATO members together for more of a consultation to decide what they should do to address this attack. Yes, it was considered an attack. Now, Poland ultimately didn't invoke Article 4 as they found that this was an inadvertent attack. And it wasn't even Russia. This wasn't Russia, according to reports. These missiles were from Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine's missiles hit Poland. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, these weren't missiles. These were air. This is part of an air defense system. Okay, it was reported that Ukraine launched these missiles in order to counter one of Russia's missiles. So in a way, it still was Russia that was causing this problem, but it wasn't a Russian missile. Either way, whether it was a Russian missile or a Ukrainian missile, from an air defense system, NATO decided that no, this was inadvertent. It was an accident. It was a mistake. That this was not an attack. So, the good news here is that this is being marked as a simple mistake. However, this mistake did end up costing and taking the lives of 2 innocent people. And so, that can't be overlooked. The bad news, though, is what many have worried would happen for the past handful of months. That either a mistake on Russia's part would cause a larger scale war, or a mistake on Ukraine's part would put them at risk of losing any additional relief from other countries. Now, and I told you guys this just yesterday, but President Biden is wanting to ask Congress for an additional $34 billion in Ukraine aid. This is going to be a tough sell. This is going to be a very tough sell right now when this just happened. All right? So, that's one of the big things that came out as well. There's another update that I want to give you. As of right now, and this has to do with student loan forgiveness. I've been getting a lot of questions on this. There's about 46 million Americans that are going to get some form of relief here, or could have received some form of relief. As of right now, we do not know when the student loan forgiveness would go through, or even if it would go through, which means everybody is in limbo. Well, here's what we know. Right now, President Biden is actually considering extending the student loan payment pause past January. Okay, past January. We don't know how long. But here's the issue. Right now, there's a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate. It's their lame duck session. Well, in 2023, the start of 2023, we are still going to have a Democratic Senate. They will still hold the majority. They could have 50 or 51 seats. And we will likely have a Republican House, which means if President Biden wants to get anything done for the student debt relief and pass it through Congress, he probably can't wait until 2023. It would need to be done now. The only other option is he pushes this back for an additional 2 years. If he pushes this back for 2 additional years, what this would do is it would give the American people that do owe some student loans, it would give them the relief that they've been looking for. But in addition to that, he could continue to forgive certain loans, and then in 2024, if he gets his re-election, if he wins, Democrats hold the majority in the Senate and they win back the House, then and only then maybe he could get Congress to pass that. So again, right now what's being discussed is the forgiveness might not be coming soon enough. So the only option is this student loan payment pause extension. That's really it. So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.